pull up so it's nice and tight. Then I fold right back. Once I get to the small of the back there, I slowly go forward, right to the belt line. Pull, one under. Since we have two blankets, it's going to be a little bit jumbly. When I'm done tucking, hold contact, switch around. One under. If I need to, I can deal with the belt line. Simply 1, 2. During this demo, I want you guys to pay particular attention to my body mechanics, okay? I want you to make sure to see how I'm lunging, how I'm pressing, where my center of gravity is. As you can see by my feet right now, I'm all the way up on my tiptoes, right? Making sure that my belly isn't right down on top of his head. Cool. Myofascial. I'm pinning right at the posterior superior iliac spine, pushing up on his spinal erectors. Hold it for about a 5 to 10 count, depending on how tight he is. Okay? From here, I move right up to the end spot, pull through again. It's a little bit tighter. All I'm doing is putting a little bit of pressure down and pressure that way and that way. And the last one, I don't have a whole lot of room for my hands here. Forearm down, pulling it out that way. Look at my feet. Okay. There was 1, 2, 3, as you can see, localized blood flow. Grab right at the ankle, pull the sheets up so it doesn't pull the sheets down when you do this procedure. Give yourself a little bit of room. Right in the meaty part of his spinal erectors, place one down and pulling all through. I'm not using a lot of muscle right now. All that I'm doing is leaning, body weight. If I really want to, I can get right over him. How's that feeling?
Good.
Lots of pull through the leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost cracked my back.
I trail with my bottom hand. Same procedure over here. Now this side, way tighter. Since it's way tighter, I'm going to do smaller, localized, and I want you guys moving. I want you guys up and over. I want you guys seeing everything that's happening here. See how I'm not going all the way up first? I'm doing more localized stuff. You can feel right here that the fascia is way more tense, okay? So that's why we're doing more localized. See how my wrists are not bending crazy right now? I'm not doing one of these. I'm right here, letting my center of my gravity bear right down on him. Okay? And again, last one, pulling in. See how my back is straight? Lots of lunge here. There we go. Again, pull, pin. If you notice after a while that they are not letting go, you again coach them. Okay? Eric, I want you to take a slow, deep breath in for me. Breathe in with him. All right, relax on the exhale. Relax it out. Give him a little jostle here. Did you feel your back extend just then?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Boom. You can add a little extra directional force down if you want. See how much I'm moving him? Just by using my body weight. Right? No muscle involved. This is muscle. This is body weight. Cool. Once I'm done stretching him out like that, that's when I begin. 1 pump in the hand, forearms. One pump into hand, shoulders, down the back. It's all about that flow, that connectivity, all right? Across the back, across the shoulders, because it will be addressing right here as well. Up the traps, on the neck, and a little flow at the end. Can go across body. Sorry about that. I usually start on the right, but since it's his left that's having problems, I go right here, say, can I steal your arm for a second? Thank you. And go ahead and relax. You always control everything. When you say, can I have your arm, you hold their arm. Make sure that you get it close to the table. Boom. All right? From here, I'll end up doing a little petrissage. Okay? Everybody loves their shoulders being rubbed like this. Audrey, muscles.
I just need something. Okay. The right trapezius.
Right or left?
Left, excuse me.
And?
And the left platysma.
A little bit. That's more up here.
Okay.
Right?
And then
What else is right here?
I'm just trying to figure out this. The left splenius capitis.
Splenius is right here. Splen cap, right through here. And it's deep. That's super deep.
We got the levator scapula.
Right here, up here. You can feel that, yeah? Yeah, that guy right there. Okay? What else?
The iliocostalis cervicus.
That's the cervicis. Runs from here on the outside.
Oh.
It's a spinal erector. All of that. Okay? Supraspinatus. Supraspinatus. Here's the spine of his scap, right? Here's his scap. This is the medial border, axillary border, spine. That guy right there. On the top of it, boom, supra. Okay? Cool. Here's one they don't teach you, and you'll never see unless you see it right now. Heat. Heat, friction. Clear your hands of emollient. Together, breathe in. Use your energy into it. White ball of light right in between. I'm bringing up energy through my feet. Touch this. Yeah? Okay. If you don't want to do that, come here. Right here. Heat, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, once I'm done with my petrissage, I go through, hit the infraspinatus. Nobody works the infraspinatus, and it's hardcore, all right? Infraspinatus is right on the shoulder blade, boom, right here. And that beast goes right through, okay? Here's where we get into the technical stuff. From here, I make sure that this area is warm, I drop down. See my lunge right now? Excuse me. All right. First stroke through that I'm doing, I'm running the last quarter of my forearm and my elbow right along the meat portion of his spinal erectors right on the side of his spine, right here. Okay? I'm using about 10% of my weight. No big deal. And I'm doing this because we want to work superficial to deep, right? Right. During this, you see where my hand went over his glutes? I'm not going like this. I'm going right, not on the bubble portion, not on the side, but right where it kind of divots in, okay? So again, I'm right here. Deep breath in for me. And I resist, and go ahead and relax, relax. There we go. Moving very slowly, about half an inch every, 5 seconds, maybe. Okay. I start to let my hand fall on the lateral side, and I'm letting my elbow and my forearm right here slide through where his QLs are. Now here, your hand, your forearm, shouldn't cross over that ledge, okay? Boom, I've met the resistance point with my elbow, all right? I'm dropping down into the fleshy portion, which is closer to you, instead of railing through on his bone, right? Once you feel, when you've gone, let your arm move out to the lateral portion, instead of doing a drop off, you're going to connect the flow, turn your arm back in so that you still have pressure coming down, your forearm goes through, and then you switch. 1, 2. See how my feet just moved? Now I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm cutting through near his QL, okay? And I'm bracing here. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with my wrist. I'm loose, and I'm letting the flatter part of my forearm trail up, okay? Right here can be an area, because we are going over a less protected area right here, okay? Alright, now I'm railing through. Right about here, you okay? Okay. Right about here is where we start to run into some muscle overlap and overlay, okay? What I'm doing is allowing his body to move out of the way, his muscles to move out of the way of my weight. Bloop. When I say blub blub and flub blub blub, it's the muscles moving. Cool. Now from here, what you can do is either run your forearm, again across infraspinatus, or here, you can move it through to get trapezius. Okay? All the way down to the elbow. Now here is where everybody's like, oh God, what do I do? Stop for a moment. Let the excess tension that you have from pulling here go back. And then back the train up. See how I'm leaning over like this? Got plenty of weight right on my front thigh. Rolling back over this spiny part here. And then from here, I'm connecting it, okay, with my other hand. Boom. Now, this is one of the things that nobody does. And it feels amazing. You want to elongate out the traps. Grab at the wrist, like so, with your finger right in their palm, okay? Pull it down. See how much extra extension you have? Can you put this arm back? Just regular. Okay? There's regular. See the difference? How much extra room we have here? Alright. Look at my stance. Place your hand close to the neck. Grab up on that trap. Alright? I have my hand right at my side. That isn't going anywhere. I get behind it, switch it out, boom. Look at the angle of my wrist. A little bit risky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? You make sure that you're not doing one of these, okay? You get up underneath of it. Push her down, loop back. See how I move my hips with it? Boom. Eric, can you tell the difference between this and this?
Oh, yeah, a little more pressure.
Way more pressure. All I was doing was locking my elbow right into my hip. Boom. Nice slow deep breath in for me. And relax it on down. During this time, I want him to relax, so I'm not putting any pressure. One more of those. I add a little bit of pressure, relax it down. Now from here, look at that lunge. It's huge, right? Now I'm just letting his muscle tell me where to go. Doing okay with that pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I said, if it is ever too much, if you ever feel like you're having to hold your breath through one, feel like you're clenching up other muscles, tell me right away. Just say, a little much. Right here, I'm right about at the bony prominence of his scap, okay, right here. I lessen up, lighten the pressure, and start back here. Whoa, that's nice. Right, I'm using the heel of my hand. Yeah! Karate chop down, right? Once you get to right about where the bony process is, right, that superior angle of the scap, you're going to switch over. Again, just using body weight, right? This is a lot different than this, isn't it? Here, pressure-wise, all right? All that I'm doing is working from top, shoot, 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 down, okay? So I'm right about here. Come over on this side real quick. Right here is where his levator scap is, okay? I'm on the medial side of his levator scap. And he'll feel it right there. And right there. And right there. And this is the fall off point, essentially, all right? Watch my hand very closely. 3, 2, 1. Did you see that? That was his levator scap saying, whoa, done, rolled out of the way, right? Now, on the other side, I still have his levator scap with this part of my hand instead. Right? I find out where his spine is. There it is, right? I go on the lateral, this lateral portion of it, and I go through and I'm stripping out his muscles towards. See how that crossover happened? And spine is right under my middle finger, pulling right through. Now you can press the scap down and go through infraspinatus if you want. But usually during this, I'm peeling this portion away. When I run here, I obviously can't go more lateral, right? So I'm going to go down. And then I follow it up again. And then I follow it up again. And once I feel like I've gotten through to where his scap is out of the way enough, look at how much distension that is, right? Then I follow through with a nice, deep forearm. Now I start here, and instead of going like this, I start here and I go like this. And naturally, his body will make me go like this. Okay? Doing okay with that? Okay. feel where the muscle tension is underneath of where you're working. See how my heart is over my work right now? Using my body weight so I can make sure that I have stability. At any time throughout this, you can say ouch loudly, and ouch will be like a normal person saying, whoa, that's too much, okay? So if he said ouch right now, I would let up 50%, right? Ask him, is that okay? He would say, yeah, that's way better. Right, I've lost my foothold, so I start back where I came from. Okay?
So right around this, like where you are right now, that's the subscapularis. Like right around the scapula.
No, subscap is underneath,
Okay.
like under the scap, under the bony part.
So yeah, right now is like the rhomboid
Rhomboids.
major.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And go ahead and dissect underneath of that.
And then you got the left serratus posterior and superior.
Yep.
Okay.
The serratus goes all the way up underneath, and it's deep. You see how much I've moved that way this entire time? Not a lot. Not a lot at all. I'm letting his body react. It's not really giving me the depth that I want to right now. So what I do is I let off 10%, and then I slowly sink back in.
Woo.
There it was. All right, when I get to the end of that, I follow up. I don't just take my hand off and go back. See how much localized blood flow we have going on right now? Okay, so from here, I want to work more medially instead of more laterally. Get all these muscles here, okay? Now, what you can do instead of just doing compressions, right? You can go ahead and do thumb walking. Okay? And I'm finding out all those nice little ridges, valleys, etc. Okay. You can double layer your fingers so it's nice and straight and follow right on the lateral part of the spine. Now this is very important. If I were to go an 1/8 of an inch more medial right now, I would make him very, very uncomfortable. Okay, that's his spine. If I were to go an 1/8 inch more lateral, it'd be into a different muscle grouping. You see that? 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? That feels different, doesn't it? Okay. So right now, as you can see, I'm putting a good amount of pressure in with these 3 fingers here, and I'm stabilizing it with my outside hand. Just running right down. This is going to loosen up the connection points for the muscles. Okay. Cool. If he's having a real tough time with letting go, I start light, find out where his tension points are, and I'm always mobile when I'm doing Topopen. I'm adding a little bit of strength and a lot more speed. I'm using right here a lot, not a lot of finger. And when I feel like he's loosened up and I'm ready for more compression, whatever, I slow it down. So that way, and I lighten it up, that way his body reacts. More localized, right? From here, I'll roll through, and again, I'm just using my body weight to allow my center of weight to shift towards his feet. Cool. Now, for the deep stuff. Okay? We've gotten through the top layers, right? There's a couple of muscle layers underneath that are letting go as I go through. This, also myofascial. Skin rolling, right? Doesn't feel the coolest, but whatever. Pushing down. Notice how his shoulder has kind of come up again, but it's still lower than the side we haven't worked on. If that does that, you grab up here, pull her down. Boom. Once I have compressed it through, I will assisted thumb brace, Mulvihill maneuver that right in through his super tense areas. You see underneath? Okay. I have that as flat as I want, getting right on top of it with my pressing right. Is that pressure okay?
It's getting a little much.
Okay, you had about a 7 out of 10?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, so a little bit better there?
Mhm.
Alright, sweet. I backed off maybe 2%. Just enough to let, like if it were an air mattress, I would let that air come back into the place where I just pushed down. Does that make sense? Kinda not really. Yeah, whatever. Deep breath in. There's a shift there all the way out. Let that relax through. Alright, cool. Keep breathing.
Is most of your pressure like in your thumb right now?
It is in the thumb pad, right underneath the pad.
Yeah.
I am not putting any pressure into it with my right thumb at all. I'm letting my top hand do all of the weight pressure behind it, okay? That is what it looks like, okay? Boom. See how much intensity we've gotten through there? Right? Same thing can be done right here. I'm using fingertips, so it's probably bound to be a little bit more like intense. Right? I'm not getting as much weight, but I'm pinpointing all these lovely little trigger points. Ooh, that's a good one, isn't it? Yeah, we're rolling through. And if you guys could feel, what you'd be seeing is that. Boop. Bloop. All that business. Right? If you want to, find a trigger point, thumb brace, get right on top of it. Alright? See my body mechanics right now? Not the greatest. I inhale, and I drop my shoulders down. How's your pain right there?
I said it was 6.5.
6.5? Well, then we're right about where we need to be. Alright, he's had a couple of little releases here and there. The trigger point that I've been working on moved out of my way. Okay, so what I do then is I slowly find the next adjacent part of the muscle belly. See that? Keeps moving. So, if it keeps moving and you can't get it, what you're going to do is you're going to pull the muscle into its full range, okay, where it doesn't have the chance to move a certain way, okay? So for like this example, he keeps popping in and out, in and out. I'll get him at him this way. And I'm stabilizing with this finger, or with this thumb, because if I didn't, he's going to go that way, or that way, right? So, gotcha. No. Now, this is about the end of where you should have your thumb extended to. If I were to go like that, no, too much, okay? But for right here, I'm pushing this way instead of this way instead of this way, okay? So I loosen them up here, rolling right through. Cool. Now, for the back, the base of the spinal erectors here, right here, instead of just using hand technique, instead of just using elbow, I have found that if you start right beneath where the shoulder blade ends, right under the scap, and you double fist with a soft knuckle, I'm not hard knuckling, I'm soft knuckling, and look at my tiptoes, right? Getting up on top and over. I'm just using weight right now with barely any direction pointed toward his feet. Okay? My rear hand, or my left hand right now, has a lot more weight to it than my front does. My front is more of a stabilizer. Okay? Doing okay with that pressure?
Yep.
Okay. I'm just feeling through the spinal erectors, feeling where the bone prominences are, making sure I'm not going over anything crazy. Alright? Come around here. Look at where my left first knuckle is meeting my right. Alright? I'm not up here, right in the soft, fleshy part. Now I've dropped down onto my regular feet, and I'm clearing through, right through the iliocostal region, where they start with my right hand, clearing through the left quadratus lumborum with my left hand. Boom. I finish up. As I'm finishing with that stroke, I go right back to where I want to go back to. Alright? That's connectivity. It's making sure it's not just going like. Okay? I'll do that again. This time, I'm leaning more. Okay? I'm leaning more up and over. If I need to, I can angle my fists or my knuckles down into him more. But I shouldn't really need to. See how I have a nice straight arm? I'm not hyperextended, but I'm not doing one of these. Right? This requires a lot more upper body strength for your end. This does not. Cool. Now that we stripped those out, you can go through, you can pull sides if you need to. Right? Here's some of my favorite work, because this is where I get my injuries, and so do a lot of other people. Right here. Right? A couple of great techniques. First, finding right as the last rib ends, right? This nice, soft, fleshy region. Doubling up my fingers so I'm not going like this, so I'm not going and cracking down right into his spine, right? You see this little ridge right here? It's where the ilium meets the sacrum, okay? For that, I like to get in with the thumbs and travel right in between those two, okay? If you want to, you can pull back. Again, and I'm bracing my thumbs together so they don't go anywhere. Okay. You can do some switch hitting, if you will. You can find where that is, where the muscle comes off of the bone, and you can press right into it. He's got a lot of tension there. See how my hand is fluttering? Boom, 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 boom. If I need to, I can knuckle down. Okay. Moreover, this is another great area. Brace thumb. And we're not going over the bone so much. We're not going on the spine. We're going right in between. Is that feeling okay for you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Don't worry, you're not grabbing their glutes right now, but you are passing over them. That's calm. All right. The other one that works really well here is on the lateral part of this ridge right here, your QL, right, quadratus lumborum, right? We can feel the drop-off point. Now, if I sink in deep and then push in medially, it's pretty intense, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we can start here, brace, and run up. See where my thumb is pressing in? Okay. Slow breath in. There we go. Again, press in. I want you guys to be very careful though, right? If you're pushing way too deep, you're not going to be rocking the muscle. You're going to get his transverse processes of his spine, okay? And that will be the end of your client relationship with that client. They will not like you one bit after that. Sweet. If you need to, you can go across the body and pull through. See how his hip is right there? Pulling through right up into that QL. Alright, cool. From here again, you can sink in right across that fleshy marker, right? And with your elbow, strip across the superior part of the iliac ridge. I move my weight forward, and instead of digging in right here, that's his ribs. We don't want to do that. So instead of pushing up with my elbow, I drop my weight into my forearm, come down. That gets the ribs out of the way. Okay? I'm right over the spinal erectors, moving on the pretty much right on the middle and the lateral part of the spinalis erectors. Or the longissimus, sorry. Okay. Now if I were to move any more medially, watch my elbow. Sorry if this sucks. See that happen? Mm-hmm. If they're super tight, they will let you know, and it will be an ouch. Okay? Alright, we've addressed trap, we've addressed rhomboids, we've addressed middle spinal erectors and QL. I've now been teaching for 37 minutes, right? We're going to move into the shoulder and the arm. First things first, I lubricate just the back, then I lubricate each individual arm, okay? And how I do that is about half a pump off of these type, right? Enough to get a good sheen going on. Right over, boom. I pull underneath, gliding, so that way it doesn't pinch his skin, and I support at the elbow and the wrist. Boom. Right off to the side. Alright, so first thing, you can see we've got some good muscle definition here. When I pull off, you can see right here the infraspinatus, right? Because, wow, that's his scap, right? All this fun infraspinatus that runs right through here. Teres muscles, right here. Those guys, okay? So, what I end up doing is I use multi-directional. I'm going to go laterally, I'm going to go towards the feet, I'll end up bracing up towards the occiput, and this is going to require a lot less pressure because this is a very intense area, right? I'm pinning his scap right here. You see how my leg is braced against the table right now? I want you guys to use that very, very often. Right? You're going to allow yourself to not move at all, but have either full weight or gradually decreasing weight. Okay? Cool. I'm glad that you have that up. Now, as you can see, the delts run right here. We're focusing the inferior part of that muscle grouping underneath, should be the infra. So I'm just dragging out, allowing his muscle to work through. Now if I want to be a jerk, I can make sure to pinpoint it, let it drag until you feel the muscle belly under your elbow, and then really pin it down. You okay with that? Now I'm using more elbow than I usually do. And there we go. Good little drag. Be careful of right here, okay? This area hurts a lot, just because it's a very sensitive area, not because like, oh, it's muscles or it's a joint. It's skin and it hurts, okay? Excuse me. So another thing that you can do is find that spine of the scap, and you can work down. You can, again, push the trap down, lean in. I've got about 60-40 weight distribution. 60 is towards the infraspinatus, 40 is on the trap, supraspinatus, and now the rhomboids. Right. Cool. Here's how to get at your teres muscles. Okay. We make sure that all this area is nice and lubricated, so I'm not going to like pinch his skin. That's maybe a little excessive. Sorry. All right. How I get at the arm is start at the shoulder, underneath, I'm scooping towards me and under. No pinches, right? That didn't pinch at all? Okay, cool. So now I've got this guy. I usually start with the lateral part of the triceps. Going through the triceps, I'm holding right under the biceps, okay? When you get about halfway over the muscle belly of the triceps, lighten up, because right here hurts. And then you can lunge in and really target those teres muscles, right? And rolling through, right now, his scap is about right there, right under there. So I want to shift forward a little bit into my hand, let his scap roll through, right there, and push through on those lats, and that's serratus. Oh, feels crazy. Okay, again, pull towards me, scoop it, and target that tricep. Okay, again, I lighten up here just a little bit, and then I push back in. On the tricep?
Yeah, fucking flush a lot of stuff.
Definitely. And I'll show you guys the other thing about it. A lot of people will have a lot of tension in their triceps that they did not know about. Bring their arm back to where their humerus is sitting on the table, okay? We put the triceps into a contraction by extending arm, right? Pin and stretch. Pinning down the tricep and not moving your pinning hand, moving the extension, right? Bringing it back and letting the muscle move under you. Okay? Again, with the other hand, you're pinning and into their full contraction, and you're lengthening the muscle that you're working on. Okay? A little intense? Okay. Yeah, right through here. Okay? This is because this is where the muscle gets a little bit thinner. Right? And right here, there's not a lot of muscle between skin and bone. Okay? Cool. So there's that. If you want to get up underneath into sub-scap, you can go, all of this is muscle. Watch. Bloop, bloop. Okay? Here, what I'm doing is pushing down on the shoulder, reaching up underneath. You see how much I get under there? It will suck. It doesn't feel very good for the person. But they need it. Like everybody needs it. Okay? Nice. I'm hooking my fingers right now, okay? Sink. Right, just a meat hook right into it. And I'm stripping out the inside. Doesn't feel too great, does it?
Not really well.
During this, I don't want to use a whole lot of muscle. I do want to use my weight. Pulling in. Man, I can feel it. Just 3, 2, 1. That's fun. I like doing that. All right. For the forearm, this will be especially useful for when you're working on fellow therapists or people who work desk jobs or play guitar or do anything with this. Okay? We grab one on the flexor side, one on the extensor. Drop into a nice squat. Put an anchor into your thigh. Okay? Shook. That way, you can just push in, and it's not going anywhere. You can even squeeze your thighs to get more pressure. And I'm just squeezing right through. Now here, just above the wrist, right, I can pull through with a little bit of twist in my wrists. This way and that way. This way and that way. Again. Oh, yeah. Okay, I even go through the hands. Now from here, I fully come into contact with his forearm, with mine, so I can assist it right back up. Okay? From here, I pull my shirt through. I can work and might be easier to come over here. And pull them through. Caution for people who have bad wrists, this is not a good pull, okay? Nothing right over the wrist. We can, however, pull like that. Put her down right at the retinaculum, start your heel. You place your hand right near the tricep above the olecranon here, right above the elbow, right? Because if you don't, see how it's moving? See how it's creating stress up here? We don't want that. Pull her down, brace it so it ain't going anywhere. Now, I think of it as two separate areas. One is the medial portion, right through there. One is the lateral portion right through here, okay? On this side, the medial portion is going to be a little bit more juicy. You got some more substance to go through. On the outside, the lateral part will be tight. See how one of his fingers is extended? Do you know why?
Because you are on not the pronator.
I'm on the flexors right here that control this part.
Flexor carpi radialis longus.
Radialis, right? Okay. Actually, this is the ulnaris. Because you're probably looking at it like that. So, ulna, radial side, right? Cool. If their fingers move like that, Eric, I want you to try to open your fingers.
I can't.
Alright? I'm grabbing the entire body of all these muscles and I'm just stripping right through. Transverse, going right across it. Retinaculum, awesome. Is this the one that was messed up?
Yep.
Okay. Was it here or here?
More on the first one.
So right through here?
Yeah, on the wrist.
Point.
Yeah, it tends to be more right here. I do have problems with the thumbs too, but the
Right
wrist
here?
is, yeah, right in there.
Okay. This one right here? You can, like that?
Yeah.
Okay, you can feel the tension happening. So what I do is I plop my butt down. I'm a lazy therapist, we can do that. Put it into a shorter contracted. We're going to do the pin and stretch, just like we did up here, right? So we find out where it is that is tense, right through here. Find the muscle belly where that starts. Put it into a contraction, pin, and stretch her through. At the end of that, stretch her through. Stretch her through. Even bring it back. Okay. Can also brace right on the inside here. Cool. Boom. Here's how I do hand stretching. On the pinky, right? Grabbing underneath, like such. Making sure to spread this way. Okay. If you're not getting a good enough bend there, bring it to the edge of the table, right there, yeah? And press that way. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. If not, bring it to the edge of the table again. Use that table to your advantage. Once I'm done with that, I go right through. You can get deep into the hands. Be very careful. They are very thin and finite muscles, okay? You don't want to just like drop elbows into it, obviously. For here, I like to do a lot of switch hitter thumb rolls, right? The palmar surface feels great when you're doing that. Don't be afraid to pinch their fingers down, like so, yeah? Don't be afraid to do that. This is a deep tissue class, right? Start at the base of their finger, roll up. Before you let go of the last one, bring in your next ones. It's about that flow, right? Right here is a little bit of a calcium buildup on this knuckle. So I go to the end of the muscle, don't press down on the bone, lighten, and go into the next, right? So deep, deep, lighten up, deep again. Same there. When I'm done here, boom, right back into this, okay? This way, you can go right up. Stop before you get to the inside part. This hurts very badly if you go over it, right? And then you can go, again, yeah, in. Push on those deltoids. And I'm holding his arm back here so that it doesn't go like this, right? Cool. When I'm done with that side, I connect the stroke. Same thing right over here. Any questions? Good. Let's move on. When I'm done with both sides, I'm going to take his arm, right? Do the scoop. Place it right underneath. See how on this side it's not untucked or anything? Okay? Boom. Cover. Follow it over. Scoop. Again. Okay? Finishing strokes, finishing strokes, finishing strokes. I connect the point and I pull right up on his body. See? I'm not doing one of these, I'm not doing this. When it gets to this point, if it doesn't want to let go, bloop. Okay? Finish that. Smooth out. To connect that into the legs. Right along the side. That's all it was. Right? We're not going over the glutes. We're just going right on the side. Here's how I do the draping. I want you two to pay very close attention to this. Up over the heels, switch. Draw it back. Oh, this is going to make it difficult. Right up to the glute line. See? Ciao. And now we'll take the second, since there's a secondary. Boom. Right up to where the glute line meets. Okay? Boom. I'll drape this side since you guys are over there. Reach them. 1, 2. Why do I do this? Because this feels better on the skin like this instead of like this. Does that make sense? 2. 3, halfway up, right? Because that way, instead of draping around the knee, you're going to drape to where you can actually get under the knee. Be cautious of his hand, okay? His hand is right here. Don't like, punch it, okay? Up underneath. The more that you lift up on his legs with a tight drape, the higher up that you can get. Okay? This portion here, you can see we have a little air. Just drag it down underneath. Would you look at that? Okay? Cool. Hairy legs. A little bit more emollient. Pretty natural. There's a few different ways that you can go about this. You can do hands. You can do forearms. I usually always will make sure that I have this bottom sheet that I pulled through. See how I'm doing this scoop? I have his full leg supported, right? Going through, and I'm pulling tight. This way, we have no air gap here. We're not seeing anything that we don't need to. His knee is supported, his ankle is off. That way we're not crushing his ankle going like that. Okay? Sweet. 1 is the side. Too much?
Just a little bit.
Better?
Yeah. It was just in one spot.
Audrey. Alright, that's how you tell it's too much. Okay? If I were to push in, you will feel it under your hand, his quad, or his ham going, right? Let up, jostle it. Jostle it. Let that muscle relax. Okay? This is side 1, which is the lateral side. Right to about the fleshy area around the knee. One hand around the back side of the knee, the popliteal fossa, yeah? Right up to the glute. Boom. Karate chop under the glute, and this is 2. I'm not putting very much weight into this right now, right? I don't want to because then I'd get one of these wrist things going on. Not okay. Plus, these are sensitive. Okay? This is 2. And this is 3 on the inside here. See how far I'm leaning over? Right? My back is still straight. I'm not doing one of these. Alright. You'll feel a little bony ridge right under your forearm when you go up under the glute. Okay? You want to get below that.
Is that the semi-tendinosis? That's where you find that leads up here.
Up here, yeah. But, well, this guy that I'm talking about is the bottom of the femur, alright? Or the top of the femur, I should say. And where his hip reaches through, that posterior part, okay? You want to be able to sink in and just use your weight to lean over. It's the last half of your forearm that's doing the weight right here. Now you're going to make sure to be real slow on this because the hams are super sensitive, right? And they like to wiggle a lot because they have a lot of play. Alright, so right here, if you're not able to get through these strokes, here's a few things that you want to be able to do. The reason that I like to have the leg over like this is because you get range of motion involved, alright? This is huge. This is where our sports comes into play. First off, Eric here has pretty good flexion, okay? A lot of the times people will start being like, oh, right there is too much, right? He's got pretty good. Now, this motion is contracting his hams, yes? Point A, point B goes towards point A. Make sense? Okay, good. We are going to put into contraction and pin it, just like we did with the tricep, right? You can pull out and don't push in quite yet. Let it contract, then you push in. All right? This goes across your body and a little bit of resistance. A little bit of resistance. You can pull it all the way through if you want to. Is that pretty hardcore for you?
No, not too bad.
Not too bad? Okay. Got a lot of resistance right here, that's why. Boom. Boom. Putting it all the way into that full leg extension. And I'm very slowly letting my elbow travel up. Okay? I'm not doing this, but I am doing this. Pin, in, stretch. That's nice. If you want to, you move it out or in. Now you see how this happens? This right here? You can either tuck in like that, or get it tighter, right? That way you don't have any air gaps. This is especially prevalent for female clients. Cool. When you've gone through, good to go, right back here. We've worked 1, we've worked 2, we want to work 3 inside. Okay? I like to travel around, place right up onto it, and don't worry, you're not getting close towards the genitals at all right here. What you are doing is you're getting right up on the inside of that thigh. You're holding right by the knee so that you don't have that going on with their leg, right? So you hold here, you're pulling in very, very little, and you're pushing in here. All right? With this one, if you don't have enough lubrication, it'll be very hard to do a glide. So just compress. Okay? Cool. I'm going to sneak around here. Here's where we get into some sports stuff. Okay? Good extension. How about lateral rotation? Okay? Lateral rotation is like this. We're going to the outside. This part going out. Right? Think of it from his front side. We are laterally rotating. Okay? Okay, so lateral rotation. Medial rotation. Okay? Supporting the knee is very important during all of this business. Step 1. This will work glutes a whole lot. Oh, nice. Good job, man. I'm proud of you. Most people, right here is about where they're going to be like, ha, okay, it hurts. Okay? Well, that's not going to be any fun at all, but good for you. Save yourself some pain. See how his hips raise up there? It's because that is the end of his range of motion. So, what we're doing here is we're focusing on glutes, okay? Glutes attach to the upper part of the hip, the outside, and the inner towards the sacrum, right? Go through, warm the glutes. Make sure that you're not just like, hey, let's stretch these.
So it's medius,
Yep.
minimus,
Yep.
maximus,
Well, no, maximus covers,
the whole thing.
yep.
It goes over medius and minimus.
Yep, that's the superficial and the big one. Yep.
And then the one that goes straight across is the
Piriformis. Yep. Now, what I'm doing right here is I'm stretching from top down, right? Pin and rotate. If it stops right here, you can rotate your wrist. You can push the outer layer up, or the superficial layer up, then pin down, and then bring it towards it. It's like If this didn't have enough room to stretch, but we brought it closer together, then we have enough room to stretch. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Alright, so with this beast, what I do is I pin directly in the soft part. Not towards the sacrum, not towards the lower where the femur connects in, right in between there, okay? When you put leg into flexion extension, you'll feel a little bit, especially with rotation like this, you'll feel what is happening there, okay? So we put him into flexion, we're pinning down right over that piriformis, and we're putting him into that lateral rotation. How's that feeling for you, bud?
Good. A little intense as it gets to the end.
Yep. And back. Good. People who have problems here, when they get to right here, remember our PNF stretching. Perfect place to put it in. Let's say right here, that's a perfect place because I'm pinning his, let's just say this is his range of motion instead of this, okay? So this, right here, is all that he can go. What I'm going to do is brace, and I'm going to say, okay, Eric, what I want you to do is just with 10% of your energy only, I'm going to have you try to bring this part, and I touch it so he knows where, this part of your ankle, and I want you to bring it out like this. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to resist against you again. 10% of your energy, deep breath in. Go ahead and resist against me. There you go. And he's pushing in. I don't have to hold him. Keep breathing, keep pushing. We're going to do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, last deep breath in. Keep pushing. On the exhale, relax it towards the table, to the table. Look at that, yeah. Perfect stretch, right? Okay. If they don't, oftentimes it'll be like that much, right? If they don't actually have good range of motion. Cool. Work that area a lot, right? People love it when they're like, oh, I can actually do something that I didn't think I could do. You can pinch right down, or push right down, pinch. You can push right down into the glutes, and you'll feel underneath your fist where all those connections are. Let it go, push it in. Watch. When I push in, he's going to rotate. You're not doing that, right?
No.
That's fun. Cool. There's that. Remember that. Okay? We showed you some pin and stretch. We showed you guys, yeah, a whole lot. All right. So here's some good stuff. All right. I can tell that not just his gastroc, his lateral gastroc head is tight, which it is, but I can also tell that underneath of it, his soleus. That's a good one. This is where your test question came in, everybody. How do we target a tight gastroc? A few of you had me laying on my back. A few of you had me sitting on the edge of the table. Here is how this muscle works. Gastrocnemius, right? Right here. Boom. 2 heads. 1, 2. Connects into the fascia that goes into our Achilles. Okay? You following along?
Yep.
Okay. Dissect the gastroc. Take that away.
It's a soleus.
Soleus. Right. That's the deep. Dissect under that.
And we have starting medially, we have the flexor digitorum longus and the tibialis posterior and the fibularis longus.
Fib. Right? The outside. This little guy. The little bone right here. Okay? Cool. This is how this works. This is contracting. Go ahead and bring this part to right here for me. Or not like pulling this way, but I want you to, yeah. See that? See that? Okay, now I want you to put your toes to the table. That's extension of right here. Okay? Go ahead and relax. Extension. Contract. Makes sense. Alright. We're extending. We're extending further. I'm not pushing down too much, but I'm seeing where he can go to. Okay? I have a good hold right here. Now, see that? That is tensile stress. Right? Toes to the ceiling, sir. Right? Contractile stress. Go ahead and relax. You can pin right against the Achilles and work through. Want you to do that action, toes to the ceiling. Can you put toes up like that? It's all good. And now toes to the table. Go ahead and push against it. Yeah. You got it. Toes to the ceiling and to the table. Really move it. Yeah. That way. There you go. Now go ahead and just keep doing that. Ceiling, table. Ceiling, table. Ceiling, and slow the table. There you go. Go ahead and relax. Boom. Right here is where I felt tension start. Okay? So right here, I'm going to put him into extension. Really put him into extension here, and you can crank even further back. All right, now that we have him here, this is the tight muscle. We're going to PNF on the tight muscle. 10% of your strength, well, about 15 or 20. I want you to point your toes right towards the ceiling. Got it? Yeah, you contract right here. There you go. Keep breathing, keep pushing. See how I have my body weight? I have him pinned against me. He's not going anywhere. Alright? One more inhale. Go ahead and relax. Relax, exhale. Relax, 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 relax. Oh! Still tense here because I'm still putting him into extension. But I actually can, this is actually pliable now. It's not like stuck. Okay? That's how we do some good stretching. Killer. To undrape the leg when we are done with that. Okay? I finished working on the foot. I ran through the spinous ridges, right here, done some switch hitting, right, on the base of the foot, etc. Give him a little traction pull. There we go. I go up the leg, letting him know with a gentle touch that I'm done. Right here at the thigh is where I scoop down and, again, start, finish, right? Start, finish, scoop. And I have that fully supported. Boom. I could take him here. I lied, I'm not going to undrape him yet. But if I were to, boom, 1, 2. Make sense? I'll show you again after we're done. Alright. From here, we're going to worry about hip flexor stretches. Okay? Underneath that knee, I have this so it's tight. Oh, he says. Oh, man, this is going to be fun, isn't it?
I just got a bunch of pain like right here.
Right through here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just from not being evened out, just in that one spot, but
Right over here?
yeah.
Yep. We get through to it. From here, most people won't be able to let your leg go up. See how my leg goes underneath there? Doing okay?
Yeah.
I have him right flat down on his iliac crest, right here and right here. Okay? Supporting, holding. Too much stretch, or are you okay? Cool. From here, if you want, you can do a lot of things. You can do more rotation, affect the lateral rotators, medial rotators. And if this starts to happen, if you notice that it's loose, you have this right here. You can pin, you can even go up underneath and do a little tuck. Right? We're not seeing anything here. Okay? It's very important when you're doing these things. From here, if we want, we can pull them all the way up. This is going to affect the quads into that hip flexor. Doing okay? Tell me when it's too much. Right about here is where his end range of motion is. Okay? I slide my leg, my thigh, in towards him. Alright, now, Eric, what I'm going to have you do is, I'm going to have you use right up here, right, your hip flexors. I'm going to have you try to put this part of your leg down through my leg towards the table. Does that make sense? Alright, 10% of your energy, go ahead and flex down. There you go. And I'm bracing right on his back so he's not going whoop, like that. Okay? Keep pushing, keep breathing. Keep pushing. 2 more nice, slow, deep breaths. Ooh, keep pushing. There you go. Last deep breath in. I want you to relax on this exhale. There you go. At the end of his exhale, just a little further up. Okay? Boom. See how much difference that is? Versus right here. This we can actually move up to without it being like, ah, we're probably putting it too far. Right? Now, underneath, when I tip his leg more medially, right? Not squishing your manhood or anything, right? Okay, good. Just making sure. Cool. We have him into hip extension again. 10% of your energy this time, just 10%. I want you to try to bring this part right to here. Okay? Everybody see that? This part to right here. Alright, go ahead. There you go. I'm just resisting against. Keep breathing, keep pushing.
Are you just holding it by his ankle then?
This is just support so he doesn't do that. Okay? And he's bringing his medial right knee to his lateral left knee. There we go. One last deep breath in. Go ahead and relax towards the table, bud. There you go. Boom. McGiant. Let it go down. Right? Give him a nice little range here. Doing okay? Cool. That will create a lot of tension throughout the low back. Just be aware of that, okay? Again, undraping. Got support under the knee. I'm not facing like this, or like this, or like this, right? Facing the client. Your head towards the client. I have full support here. The sheet that you tucked under, you're going to pull that right towards you, against the body, tight against the body. When you're right here, doing the X with your arms, switch. See how easy that was? Okay. Cool. What's our time at?
1:25.
1:25?
Yeah, an hour and 25 minutes.
Okay, perfect.